Hey y'all, what's going on? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on what time zone you are on. Thank you guys so much for watching, for tuning in. As you all, well, some of you know that I went to Bible study last night because I posted a video before I left. The word, when I tell y'all the word that was given, man, it was on fire. So I am going to give you guys a little bit of what was talked about, but I'm going to say it in my own words. Pastor Valores was talking about letting our desires overtake us. So what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is fire and desire. As we know, when you mess with fire, it can cause you to burn. Fire can be a temptation because desires are things that we want, not necessarily things that we need sometimes. And she said something so amazing. She was saying that desires, they take over your soul, they take over your mind, they take over your character. They take over your character so much that you end up doing things that you wouldn't even do just to fulfill a desire. And how many of us can honestly say that yes, we did that? I know I can, and I have let desires of things that I wanted take me away from the will of God. And there used to be a time when I desired so much to fit in because of my cerebral palsy. So I was already different. So I was just thinking of things to do so that I could fit in. My desire to fit in was so strong that I was stepping outside of me, that it started consuming my soul. Like she said, I was a whole nother person. That's even with relationships, whether it be male or female or the opposite sex. Sometimes we desire things so much that we put up with stuff that we wouldn't even fathom of putting up with just because we want that desire to be fulfilled. And she brought out the story of Samson and Delilah. Samson was, listen, Samson was what I like to call a tater tot thought. He had a desire for women. He loved women. So his love for women allowed him his desire, his I need to have women. It steered him away from his will, the will of God, the will that God had for his life, because he was so consumed with the desire of Delilah that he lost himself in her, and she was all he focused on. And I like to call her the lies you tell, because she told so many lies just to get what she wanted. But I encourage you all to because as we know, the scripture does says that the Lord will give you the desires of your heart. We do know that. But like she said, we have to read above that. Delight yourself in him, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Everything that we desire is not meant for us to receive right away, because as you see, when we get the things that we desire, for some of us, it does take us away from God. So I encourage you all, the things that, and I'm speaking to myself too, the things that we desire, make sure that we're delighting ourselves in God first, putting him first and foremost. And when we delight ourselves in him and trust in him, he will give us the desires of our heart. And like I told her yesterday at the end of her message, like that was for me, because it's a certain situation that I'm dealing with, and she knows it. She knows about it. I'm just so ready for this situation to be over that it's consuming me. Like I think about it all the time. I just be ready for it to be over because it's consuming me, and I feel like it's hindering me from doing what God called me to do. But God checked me before I even went to Bible study. And then to hear her message, I was like, okay, God, I get it. I'm a firm believer of always saying, take your hands off and let God move. So it's like he brought that back to me. You saying, you always tell people, and you say it all the time, take your hands off and let God move. So take your hands off and let me move, Ebony. So I'm just encouraging you all, the things that you desire, the things that you hope for, the things that you dream for, and want to see fulfilled. Make sure that you're going about it the right way first. Make sure that you're delighting yourself in God so that he can give you the desires of your heart. Talk to him, give everything to him. Don't give it partially to him. And I'm speaking to myself, and I'm encouraging myself, because even with the children of Israel, he protected them with a pillar of fire by night. You know, fire can be good and bad. It's all about how you use it. So don't let your desires steer you away from God. Let your desires bring you closer to the person that can give you everything you need. Because a human is only able to do so much. But the all knowing, all seeing, never failing God can give you everything that you desire if you delight yourself in him and trust in him. Until next video, men and women of God, be blessed.